Hallöchen, Freunde, willkommen zurück zu 3 Minutes to Midnight. Gut. Wir haben Aufträge. Keine Ahnung, wie wir die alle angehen sollen. Aber wir haben welche. Kann man eigentlich das da... Oh. Okay. Jetzt haben wir Zitronenöl. Interessant. Ich weiß halt nicht, aber er hat gesagt, in einem dunklen Ding, wo du... Könnte das vielleicht so gemeint sein?
Hey Joe, what's that brown thing over there? Ah! Quick, everyone get out of the water!
Wir sehen doch was, der Griff.
Ew! Could you at least clean it up first?
Okay, warte mal. Geht das?
What will this girl think of me? Oh God, I hope she gets me out soon.
Ah, schau. Wasserspray, okay. Ja, cool. Das ist manchmal witzig, gell, wie man dann auf einmal die Sachen doch findet. Ich merke bei mir, ich muss bei so einem Spielen 2, maximal 3 Folgen kann ich machen. Also so eine Stunde, vielleicht am Stück, 1,5 Stunden kann ich spielen und dann muss ich mal abschalten und mir meinen Kopf eine Ruhe gönnen, eine Pause. Weil dann merke ich, dass ich dann richtig unruhig wäre, grantig, wie muss man schon sagen, alles. Also braucht es immer wieder. Ich darf das nicht zu lange immer. Obwohl ich gern weiterspielen möchte, aber es geht halt nicht.
Ready to return to open water. Proceed, rookie.
I sure hope you know what you're doing.
Das ist echt spannend. Wie ist das bei euch so? Gleich
oder?
oder?
Excuse me? Erupt from below? Abort! I'm going to die! I love you, Alice. Avenge my death! God! Leave my backpack alone, you pesky chipmunks! Oh, sweet. That's wonky. Hey, wait! Give it back, you damn pigeon! Water landing. Well, better than a cactus landing. Hey, where did my harpoon go?
Oh. Okay.
In case you're wondering who your beautiful savior is, I'm Betty.
Nice to meet you, Betty. I'm Smokey on the water, Hasselback Montoya the 8th. But you can call me Smokey.
Who's Alice?
How do you know that name?
Well, apparently, she's supposed to avenge your death.
You must have me mistaken for someone else. We Montoyas don't fear death.
Oh, really? Because I could have sworn I heard you screaming like a baby.
Alice is my daughter. And I was screaming like a full-grown man.
Unbedingt.
What do you know about this town?
I passed through this morning. It looked like a typical small town. At first. You should have seen their eyes. Those bright eyes. Like they were following me everywhere. Unsettling.
Why didn't you stop and check it out?
My schedule is very tight. I need to kill the monster before the Master Chief realizes I'm away without leave. Now, unless you have other questions, I really need to find my harpoon.
Did you hear the explosion earlier tonight?
Not really. I was fighting for my life in the forest when it happened.
Excuse me, what?
I cut through the forest to reach the lake faster when the most unbelievable thing happened. Chipmunks.
Oh boy, here we go
Ist
again.
nicht der vom Buch, was man da...
I see you are familiar with these vile creatures.
I might have heard a thing or two. Go on.
They appeared out of nowhere. I haven't seen such stealthy creatures since the Mariachi Ninjas. Regardless, I fought fearlessly as they stripped me of every single one of my possessions.
The great Smoky Hasselbeck Montoya the Eighth defeated by a handful of chipmunks?
Handful? They swarmed me. There must have been hundreds of them.
Okay, let's say I believe you. That still doesn't explain why you didn't hear the explosion.
One of them hit me in the head with a nut. My ears are still ringing.
A nut?
Yes, a nut.
What monster are you talking about?
I can tell you, but let me warn you right now. After you hear this, you'll never be the same again.
Whatever. I doubt this is going to be the craziest thing I'll hear tonight.
In these waters lurks Sherman, one of nature's most twisted aberrations. A monster so monstrous, the word monster doesn't begin to describe its monstrosity.
Not to change the subject or anything, but when was the last time you had your brain checked?
6 months ago. Standard Navy procedure. Anyway, don't interrupt me. The Great Sherman has extinguished entire civilizations, and its victims are counted by the thousands.
Are you perhaps exaggerating a tiny bit? Except for my hometown, there's literally nothing for miles around.
Exactly! Because of Sherman! So let me continue. My great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, one Plata on the Grill Hasselbeck Montoya, fought the beast but was forced to retreat after suffering grievous injury. Since then, each generation of my family has sworn to defeat this unholy beast.
How many of them survived?
Only one.
Are you telling me 6 generations of your family have died in this lake?
Yes, but there won't be another. I'll be the one to fulfill our dynastic destiny.
Mit dem Flamingo-Schwimmreifen ist es echt verreckt.
Can you tell me more about the beast?
What do you want to know?
What does it look like?
Centuries have passed since one Plata encountered the monster for the first time. Over the years, the legends of this beast became darker and murkier than the lake itself. Nobody really knows what it looks like. Only that it's gargantuan and evil.
If it's so big and evil, how come nobody's ever seen it?
Of course people have seen it. It's just that none of them have ever made it back alive.
Are you sure your ancestors knew how to swim?
Positive.
Right. What kind of name is the Great Sherman?
A terrifying one.
Aber der Great müsste eigentlich der Großartige heißen, oder? Nicht der Große. Müsste sonst der Big Sherman heißen, oder? Also, Deutsch übersetzt müsste eigentlich der Großartige heißen, oder?
What's his last name?
What? Why would a monster have a last name?
For intimidation purposes, of course. Something like Sherman Soul Eater. Or maybe Sherman the Impaler.
Don't be silly, Betty. Legendary monsters don't have last names.
Okay.
Think of Medusa, the Chupavacas, or the Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster does have a last name. It's Monster.
Look, if you're so interested, you can ask him. While he's writhing in agony at the end of my harpoon.
How do you intend to kill it?
With my harpoon. When I find it, that is.
Really? That's it? A harpoon?
Well, see, the harpoon is actually my plan B.
What happened to Plan A?
Chipmunks.
Tell me more about your Plan A.
I made a decoy victim out of oxygen tanks and my grandfather's old clothes. May he rest in peace. Then I poured barbecue sauce all over it and stuffed the pockets with shrimp to entice the beast. Then I was going to drag the decoy over to the lake. As you know, no monster can resist the taste of barbecued shrimp. He'd snap the decoy up, and once it was held firmly in his jaws, I would tell him a joke.
What?
Oh, the good old classic. See, a ghost pirate, a sea monster, and a mermaid walk into a bar, and...
Those jokes aren't funny.
Maybe not to you, but monsters find them hilarious.
Okay.
Anyway, then he'd start to laugh, and I'd shoot the oxygen tank in his open mouth. The tank would then explode, sending the beast off to hell with a smile.
You know, I would have paid to see that. Huh, I wonder what those chipmunks are gonna do with oxygen tanks and a Navy rifle. Don't you think it's time to bury the hatchet?
If you'd listen to my story, you'd know why I won't.
6 generations of your family have died in this lake. Don't you think that's enough?
You could never understand. The Hasselback
Aber
Montoyas
6
are
Generationen, er ist ja
not
der
quitters.
8. Was mit dem
What
7.
kind of
passiert?
example would I set for my daughter if I gave up?
I can't make that decision for you, but I have a bad feeling about all this.
I'm not going to die. But in case I do, regale Alice with my glorious last stand and tell her to avenge me. After all, she would need to carry on the family tradition.
On second thought, I've heard enough fairy tales for today.
When the beast takes its last breath and I hold its head aloft, then you'll believe me.
Would you mind fetching me that kayak?
Impossible. If I move around too much, it might alert the beast.
What beast are you talking about? Leeches?
Leeches? No, you foolish girl. In these waters lives a terrible
Hätten wir
creature.
zuerst fragen
There's
sollen.
nothing more terrible than leeches.
You must be joking. Corporate lawyers, Jehovah's Witnesses, Baba Yaga, weeping angels. I could go all day.
Zeugen
Don't
Jehovas sind
forget
nicht
the
schrecklich.
chipmunks.
The chipmunks. Anyway, these aren't just any waters. They're haunted by the Great Sherman.
Well, gotta go.
Dismissed, sailor.
Ne, er wird die Ausrüstung nicht zurückgeben, da brauche ich mal gar nicht fragen, ne?
Finally, out of that outhouse.
Mal, das ist ja ein Gewaltskampf und ein Gewaltakt. So. Die Harpune haben wir ja gesehen. Nur wie soll man da rankommen?
The harpoon is stuck at the top of that sign. I can't reach the harpoon.
Man, wir haben ein Seil, kann man damit was... Okay.
Funnily enough, one side is the exact same diameter as the fire extinguisher nozzle. Ew! You know what they say? Get a plunger before you need a plunger. You know what they say?
Okay.
Who would have thought cleaning toilets could be such a blast? It's squeaky clean, but let's not touch it too much.
Gut, wir haben jetzt dann... Da hat es uns den Hinweis
I'm not
gegeben.
sure this makes much sense, but I now have a long-range fire extinguisher.
Ja.
Always remember to keep your plunger on a leash. You wouldn't want them to run away, right?
Kann man sie jetzt dann drüber werfen? Wäre das eine Möglichkeit?
It'll take more than that to shake the harpoon down. As awesome as a harpoon gun would be, It's way out of my reach.
Und wir wissen, dass es hier auch noch die Attrappe gibt. Vielleicht nimmt sie jetzt mit.
I wouldn't test its durability. I think it might break if I look at it too hard. I think the pressure would snap it. I don't need to wet this. I wouldn't test its durability.
Okay. Können wir ihm die Attrappe geben und dann mal da runtergehen.
What the hell have you done to our outhouse?
Sauber.
Hey, look on the bright side. You could say the outhouse is now spotless.
Where will we go make a poopy now?
Let's send her to the basement.
Uh-huh.
No one is sending anyone to the basement.
What's in that basement anyway?
None of your...
And bodies.
Lisa?
Okay. Only parts of them.
1 down, 2 to go. Hey there, little friend. Have you heard the legend of the Great Sherman? Yeah, right. If he's been eating people for generations, someone would have stopped him by now. I'm sure it's just a myth, like unicorns or old people that don't cut in line. I'm not falling for a tourist trap like that. Kudos for trying to sell me on it, though. What do you know about this chipmunk gang? Mama Raccoon didn't raise no snitch? Respect. Okay, off the record, tell me everything you know about them.
DLC.
What? I'm not paying for some stupid DLC just to find out. See you later. Enjoy your meal.
Ist das ein Hinweis, dass es ein DLC geben wird?
You
Möglich,
guys
oder?
remember Fred? That old janitor. Yeah, what about him? I've been having these weird nightmares about him.
Fred, der Hausmeister, also der
He
Freddy
can't hurt
Krüger.
us now. I've made sure of it.
1, 2, Fred's coming for you.
Der Freddy Krüger. Der alte Betrüger.
How many kayaks could the kayak rack if the kayak racked kayaks?
Kann man da irgendetwas machen?
I think someone would notice that this isn't a kayak. I think someone would know.
Schwierig. Wir brauchen ja die Harpune. Und das scheint zu funktionieren.
I should forget about saving the town and just go patent this instead. Every household in America will soon wanna... What should I call it? Ooh, I know. Pick a kayak 6000!
Egal. Okay, damit könnte man das Kajak holen. Aber was ist eigentlich mit der Harpune? Kriegen wir die damit auch runter, oder?
It
they'd be a great weapon. Unfortunately, it's kayak season, so stick to something that will help me pull it back. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but in retrospect, it did look kind of fragile. Well, you never know what you've got until it's gone.
Oh. Okay. Aber wir könnten jetzt mal das Kajak ranziehen, oder?
Let's teach that kayak how we do things around here.
Yeah. Und vielleicht mit dem Paddel können wir was runterholen? Nice.
A hickory oar by blister makers. Ooh, it's inscribed. If you steal it, I will bite your teeth. Clarice.
Okay. Können wir damit jetzt die Harpune runterholen? Ja, komm. Bitte. Yes! Oh. Ja, wir haben die Harpune, wir haben das Kajak zurück. Das ist ja gar nicht so schlecht.
I recovered the kayak.
If by recovered you mean pull it out of the water, then forget to tie it up, and let it disappear into the dark, then yes, you recovered it.
How could you forget to tie it up? That's like camping 101. Where's Mr. Kayak now?
No one said anything about tying it up. How many times do I need to apologize?
Once would be nice.
Mr. Kayak!
Woohoo! One more test to go!
Okay. Ja, vom Festbinden war nie die Rede. Aus dem Hobby nichts zum Festbinden. Aber ich vermute mal, wir haben es geschafft, oder? Ich hab's ja nicht anklicken können, also was hätte ich machen sollen? Jetzt wird's spannend.
Hello, Smokey.
Hello.
I need...
I can't.
So, Entschuldigung.
Well, you can give it to me or deal with the campsite owner. Which, to be honest, might be even worse than facing that imaginary creature of yours.
I'll gladly give it back to you in exchange for your help.
Wir haben es
Fetch
schon.
quest?
Wir haben sie
I
schon.
love fetch quests. What am I looking for?
My harpoon. It got lost during the launch.
Quest accepted. Being in the water for...
So,
It's a
pass auf,
risk
wir haben
I'm-
die Harpune. Schauen wir mal, was passiert.
Is this the harpoon you were
Oder
looking
spießt
for?
sie ihm jetzt auf?
You have my eternal gratitude, Betty. Thank you.
Habt ihr
On
schon
behalf
den
of the
Tentakel da
entire
rechts
Hasselback
unten gesehen beim
Montoya
Baum?
dynasty.
Und da hinten auf der Insel?
I've been waiting my whole
Ich glaube,
life for
das ist
this
das
moment.
Vieh.
In my heart, I carry the bravery of all the men who lost their lives to you. You may well rip off my head and strip me of my honor, leaving me to face the same grim fate as my ancestors. But not today, beast. Today is the day you die. Sherman! Show your ugly face! Aha! You finally show yourself, you slightly larger than expected monster! Your reign of terror is at an end. Prepare to meet your fate at the hands of Smokey on the water Hasselback Montoya. You wish to devour me, beast? Do your worst. You may break my body, but you will never shatter my spirit. You better save your breath, Sherman. It might be your last.
Enough, brother Montoya. It's my turn to give a speech.
What?
Bless us, O Lord, and these thy gifts which we are about to receive. Something, something, something. Amen.
Not so fast, beast. Have a taste of this. Yeah!
Oh no, I am gravely wounded. Mighty Montoya, you have killed me most dead. I'm dying.
Yes! Victory is mine!
No, you numbnuts. The only thing that toothpick of yours did was whet my
Oopsie.
appetite.
Oh, wait.
No, it's not over. As long as there's still a single drop of blood left in me, I will never give up.
Relax. Stressed Montoyas are harder to chew.
Think, man, think! Maybe there's something in these pockets. Jackpot! Now, you demon, taste defeat at the hands of my mighty lemon.
Ah! Centrical hit! My eye! Why is it always the good eye? I can't see!
Whoa! Stop flailing around!
I can't! It hurts!
Why don't you just splash some water on it?
Ah, much better. Thank you, Snack.
You're welcome, monster.
What are you doing? Don't help him.
Where was I? All right, back to eating you.
Damn it, Betty! Don't just stand there! Do something!
Dich selbst opfern.
Hey, sucker. Why don't you pick a fight with someone your own size? I know I'm not supposed to die in this game, but you're really pushing it, pal.
Oh. Und wo ist er? Okay. Oh.
Let go of me!
Oh, such a brave Snack.
Snack? Wait, you can't eat me?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can, but let's find out.
Wait, time out, time out. You shouldn't eat me.
Why not? You look tasty enough.
We're childhood friends, remember?
Yeah? Then what's my name?
Ich weiß seinen Namen tatsächlich. Bob.
You look like a Bob to me.
What? I mean, you think a mighty creature like me would have such a commonplace name?
Had to try.
Well, you're wrong. Straight to my belly you go.
No, no! Please give me
Bob.
one last chance.
Well, since I am a gentleman, I'm gonna tell you a riddle. If you get it wrong, I eat you. Otherwise, you're free to go.
Haha, then get ready to starve to death. Cause I'm the riddle master.
Lass
We
uns
shall
überraschen.
see. So tell me, my lunch, what's large, terrifying, and has a lot of tentacles?
Du?
You?
Aha! That is indeed me. This one doesn't count. Round 2. How many Montoyas does it take to hurt a kraken?
Just one?
No! Did you not see
Ja, hat ja
what just
verletzt.
happened? I'm having fun with this. Let's do another round. What smells like fear, tastes like human, isn't going to make it through the night?
Is it me?
And we have a winner!
Really? What do I win?
One-way trip to my stomach. Now get in my belly!
Oh.
What do you have there?
Nothing.
Bob?
Da, Bob.
Let go of the nice lady.
But Lisa...
Wait, your name was Bob.
Shut it, Snack.
What do we always say about eating campers?
But what about my tummy rumbles?
Bob?
Sorry.
And where's Mr. Montoya?
Montoya? What's a Montoya?
We'll talk about Mr. Montoya later. Now, let the girl with the pretty hair go.
Just a quick nibble. She doesn't need both.
Enough! You don't want to make me angry, do you, Bob?
No, not angry. I'm really sorry, Miss Snack. Please excuse my manners.
Yeah, that'll show ya.
Oh, cool.
The terror of Crystalline Lake. Eater of men and scourge of the Hasselbeck Montoyas, the giant kraken. Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Would you at least call me Robert? We barely know each other.
Sure
Roberto.
thing, Roberto.
What about Ruperto or Robertinho or Rigoberto or...
Know what? Just call me Bob.
Did you hear that huge explosion not too long ago?
Yes, I heard it. Even underwater. It blew the water right out of the lake. Now look at it. Not even enough room to take a good swim.
Well, I'm gonna try to take care of it. You sit tight, Bob.
What can you tell me about the town nearby?
The mayor made me sign an NDA a few years ago. I'm forbidden from talking about the town.
Okay. So, did anything interesting happen around here recently? Besides the explosion, that is.
Well, all I can say is that it was always pretty quiet around here until the military showed up. Since then, I've been seeing a weird green glow across the ridge.
I wonder what they're up to. Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
What's your story?
Well, you see, it all began like many stories do on a summer trip to a lake. When disaster struck, I was happily camping near these shores with my loving family.
Wow, a family of octopuses! How cute!
What? No, I had human parents, just like you.
Wie geht es dann?
Okay.
I went skinny dipping in the lake, which, let me tell you, was much bigger and deeper when I was young.
I'm pretty sure it's because you've grown up.
As I was saying, I got ensnared in some seaweed. It was wrapped around my tentacles, completely trapping me underneath the surface. I could hear my mother calling me for days. Unfortunately, being a kraken, I can't really survive on land for very long. So I was stranded here, alone. The lake is my prison.
Aw, man. That's a sad story if I've ever heard one.
Tell me about it. My life's full of tragedy.
Not to fuel the fire, but... Couldn't you have just eaten the plant you were tangled in?
For over 50 years, I tried. I just couldn't bear that horrible taste.
But couldn't you have just pulled on them a little? Some slimy little plant is no match for a creature your size.
I was such an idiot.
Your words, not mine.
Shut up.
Die Legende vom großen Schirmen, okay. Cool, wir haben eine Errungenschaft.
Tell me about your feud with the Montoyas.
It all started about 300 years ago. A passing group of conquistadors camped by the lake and invited me over for paella. What they didn't tell me was that I was the main ingredient.
Wow, talk about lousy hosts. What did you do?
I attended the dinner. It would have been rude not to.
Wasn't it a bit awkward? You know, with them trying to eat you and all?
Au contraire, best paella I've ever had. The armor was a bit hard to chew, but,
You ate a ship full of conquistadors.
well, not all of them. One got away. The cook. Juan Plata on the grill, Hasselbeck Montoya. First of his name.
Then what happened?
I don't know what that soot for brains told the rest of his family, but I've had a steady supply of snacks ever since.
I want to know more about the Montoyas.
Montoyas. They're my favorite snack subject.
Who came after Juan Plata?
The first to come seeking revenge was Pastor Damien on the cross, Hasselbeck Montoya. He came up to me and started chanting in Latin. I think he was trying to exorcise me, like I was a demon or something.
Did it work?
Not really, but I had to give it to him. He had a beautiful voice.
Really?
Yeah, before I knew it, I was falling asleep. That's when he tried to take me out for good.
Holy sheep!
No, holy hand grenade. When I saw it, I jerked awake and startled him. It fell at his feet and he went boom. He was my first snack. A bit gamey and full of shrapnel, but minced meat goes well in chili.
So who showed up next?
After the father came the knight, Sir George on the horse, Hasselbeck Montoya. What a legend that guy was. He showed up in full plate armor with magic sword and everything and lunged at me.
No warning or anything? Did he hurt you?
I mean, it tickled, but in the end, his toy shattered just like his dreams and his bows. You should have seen his face when that happened.
You just crushed him.
No, I also ate him.
Huh.
What's and all?
You seem to have quite the history with the Montoya family. Got any more stories?
Good old Dr. Ice on the prey, Hasselbeck Montoya. He walked up to me and shouted, "Carmen, I will now cure you." As if I were a disease or something.
And then?
He pulled out something red and shiny.
Shiny?
Sorry, please continue.
As I was saying, he blasted me right in the eye with this red light. I lost my sight, and in my panic I smashed him against a tree. By the time I got my sight back, I realized he'd actually cured my cataracts. I hadn't seen so well in years.
What Montoya came next?
Then
Hans.
came Hans. Hans on the pipe,
Mit Hans im Glück.
Hasselbeck Montoya. He showed up one day with a folding chair, sat right where you're standing now, and started staring at me.
What the?
Right? When I asked what he was doing, he calmly replied, "Staring contest, you beast," and pulled out a pipe. Those were the days. The way he looked at me set butterflies loose in my stomach.
Oh.
He never left my side. He died of old age in the very same spot, staring at me one last time.
Den hat er gegessen.
The last one was kind of depressing, huh? Is the next one like that too?
The sixth one was Richard. He was the weirdest of them all.
Wait, this one didn't have a fancy nickname?
Well, if he had one, he didn't mention it. But he was definitely on something. Anyway, the guy starts delivering this speech about love and peace between us.
Ooh, this isn't gonna end well.
Yeah, the speech wasn't all that bad, but it was so incredibly long that I got hungry and...
You ate him just because he was boring?
Okay, that one's on me.
So, what happened to the seventh Montoya? Did you eat him too?
That would be Dan's on the floor,
It's on the floor.
Hasselbeck Montoya.
Smokey's father, then.
Yeah, he showed up with the gramophone. Then he started moving weirdly around the lake while the music played.
Is it me, or do these stories just keep getting worse?
The poor fella. I thought he was having a stroke. So I crushed him out of his misery.
Maybe he just wanted to dance for you.
Well, it looked more like he had chipmunks in his pants.
How did you become friends with the girls?
Oh, they did me a solid. This group of lousy campers came by and started playing their awful music. I asked them nicely to turn down the volume.
I'm guessing they didn't react well.
They threw rocks at me, mocked me, and called me a monster. Can you believe it, Betty? They called me
Ja, wie können sie
a
nur?
monster.
You? A monster? Nah.
Watch it, Snack.
What happened next?
I was crying my soul out under the pier when this little girl with a machete showed up. She asked me what the problem was, and I told her. She said she'd handle it. The next thing I knew, silence.
What can you tell me about other terrifying creatures such as yourself?
A lot, actually. Who do you want to know about?
Alter.
What can you tell me about the big-footed North American man-ape?
Huh? You mean Harold?
Harold.
The Sasquatch. Great guy. Harmless as a chipmunk.
You know, chipmunks are actually pretty scary.
Not when you're my size.
What do you know about the Loch Ness Monster?
Nessie? Not that again. I'll tell you a secret, but you can't tell anyone.
Pinky promise.
I was on a vacation in Scotland. Had a wild night of drinking. Long story short, I should probably steer clear of Loch Ness. Forever.
That's it?
I've said too much already.
Let's talk about the most evil monster of them all.
Which would be...
My mom, Eliza Barrett.
Wait, seriously? She's the kindest, most unselfish person I ever met. She even made a memorial for me.
Ah,
Since you're her
deshalb.
daughter, she must have put up a pretty big statue of you, right?
Das ist ja unser Papa, der
As
Bob.
big as her love for
Wir
me.
suchen ja unseren Vater.
There's one terrifying creature I'm dying to know more about. The Montoya Slayer. The Lake Muncher. The Alpha and Omega of water monsters.
The Great Sherman.
Must you?
Hey, you almost ate me. I'm entitled to some teasing.
You know Lisa left a while ago, right?
You bring up a fantastic point, Bob. Tell me about the scariest monster you've ever encountered.
I've met my
Wendigos.
fair share of legendary monsters, wendigos, werewolves,
Mummies.
mummies, and the deadliest of all, the chupacabras.
Seriously?
Trust me, on a night with a full moon like this one, stay away from cows.
Why would my mom erect a statue in your honor?
Are you implying that I don't deserve it?
Not at all. I'm just curious how that even happened.
Oh, I was just chilling around the lake one day when she showed up with a bunch of papers in hand. She told me she'd erect a statue in my honor if I signed them.
And you signed them? Just like that?
Of course I did. Who would ever turn down such an offer?
I think I know what happened here. You didn't read the fine print, did you?
Well, she told me it was that small because it wasn't important.
Of course she did.
I'll be going, Bob.
Whatever. Just stop bothering me.
Oh Gott. Alter. Schön. Ja, haben wir das alles erledigt, Freunde. Dann würde ich sagen, hier machen wir mal Folgenende fürs Erste. Und machen dann gemütlich in der nächsten Folge weiter. Ich sage danke fürs Zusehen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Ciao.